Several parents want to adopt, and will in most cases prefer to get a newborn who has not been through any trauma of being moved from one place to another. It's very difficult to find a toddler that isn't wanted by a set of parents, but it is unfortunately still possible. This is a little one who finally got adopted after years of being turned down or left at the orphanage as a toddler. Initially, no one understood why, but finally, the reason is clear. Before we start, can we get this video to 1,000 likes? Please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Men are not as attracted to women's success. It appears to be a turnoff for many of them. However, Anna still did not feel discouraged as she kept hoping for a man that would like her as successful as she already was. As a result of living her life as a single woman, Anna would often go on vacation with a group of friends, and sometimes she would just choose to go alone. It has seemingly become a trend for people to find love while traveling. That said, although Anna did not meet that man she hoped to have a romantic relationship with, traveling always gave her the opportunity to explore the world and parts of herself. Anna was among a group of people who had been traveling and got into a cafe before setting out on their journey. They were headed to Argentina. While they were in the cafe, Anna was particularly drawn to a certain guy. He was a bit shy-looking and was at the back of the same group. His name was Patrick. Anna and Patrick immediately hit it off while on their trip to the South American country. Just like Anna, Patrick enjoyed traveling and seeing the world. The two very quickly realized that traveling is an interest they both shared. The two of them realized that they actually lived in the same neighborhood. Patrick was a firefighter, and because of that, he had so many battle wounds, such as strains and sprains, among others. Patrick had decided to quit his job recently to join the marketing field instead. He was just starting out as a junior marketer. Even though he loved his previous job, a terrible injury forced him to resign. It was a severe head injury that had him confined at the hospital for a good number of months. The love between the two grew stronger when they opted to move in together. Anna and Patrick enjoyed to a great extent exploring the live music scene together. It wasn't long before Patrick and Anna realized that they were meant to spend the rest of their lives together. That's exactly why it was so easy for the two to get married. After some time of living in a beautiful bubble full of happiness, the bubble finally ended up popped. The two started to realize that something was not right. There was a missing piece. Regardless of how hard the two of them tried, Anna could not conceive. This made them so sad because the two had always imagined a house full of kids. After a year of marriage, Anna and Patrick decided it was time to start trying for a little one. Before they went to the doctor, the two were already seeing a marriage counselor who was going to help them understand their sexual life better. There, they were given advice on how to improve their chances of getting pregnant. The two subsequently had just two choices. They were to pick either. One option for Patrick was to take medication specifically for fertility to help improve the quality of the sperm from his body. However, despite doing this and incorporating so many changes into his life, nothing seemed to work for his situation of infertility. Due to this, the doctor gave them a second option, which was artificial insemination. But then, they also had the option to adopt a child. At this point, they started weighing these options. The couple visited a doctor who took them through the entire fascinating process, which involves harvesting the sperm as well as the egg cells. It certainly wasn't easy, and the choices even left Anna in tears. The two also started going for counseling on adoption. They grew curious about what to expect from the entire process of adopting a child. At this point, they had become very curious about the entire process. Anna, just like most other women, always dreamt and longed to carry her own children in her womb, so for a while there, she wasn't too sure about adopting a child. However, she was certain that she did not want them to use the other option. Anna felt so torn, but regardless, she was certain that adopting a child would change their lives for sure. Anna started contacting a few people who had adopted a child or children before. It was then that they made the final decision to adopt a child. The couple selected an orphanage that had been recommended by their doctor. However, they had no idea that their lives would be transformed the way it happened. Anna felt very excited when they were directed to the babies section, but it was while they were on their way to the section that they noticed a young boy. He looked so reserved and was also very quiet. When Anna asked about the little boy, the answer she received shocked her. After noticing how fixated the couple was on the little boy, the social worker introduced little Billy to the now very interesting couple. He was brought to the orphanage when he was still a baby and was at this time 6 years old. The poor little boy had lost his mother to a car accident. It was after it occurred that he was placed at the orphanage. Billy's story was so sad and touching that it literally made Anna shed some tears. It was very strange that the little guy Billy had not been adopted by anyone when he was still a baby. The social worker even went ahead to say that Billy was so well behaved and above all, he was very healthy. Anna, after hearing that story, could not get little Billy out of her mind. Anna continued to question the situation and figured that something probably happened in the past, something to do with Billy, and nobody wants to talk about it. Anna's desire for a baby started to wear away as her mind and full attention was fixated on Billy. It wasn't just her, Patrick felt the exact same way. Although it seemed so weird that in all those years nobody had actually adopted the adorable little boy, the couple made a decision that they would be the ones to do so. Patrick and his wife, Anna, called the orphanage and expressed their desire to have the little boy as their child, and soon the adoption process started. Bringing Billy into their home had been a dream for the couple, and for sure, they couldn't wait to actualize it. They patiently but full of excitement waited for that day. After the adoption process was complete, Anna built a very strong relationship with Billy, and the two became inseparable. Billy was able to seamlessly settle into his new home. However, Anna and Patrick could not help but be even more puzzled as to why the boy had not been adopted in his earlier years. After a lot of thought, the two concluded that something was just not right in this entire situation. The Mattons, that is Patrick, Anna, and Billy, lived happily together for 12 good years, with nothing wrong ever happening to Billy, especially health-wise. Sure, he suffered from some allergic reactions here and there, but there was nothing major until he turned 18. The Martins would get so many phone calls constantly, but whenever they picked up, the person would remain quiet on the line. At this point, Patrick and Anna began to worry because this was a stalker for sure. While Billy was away in college, a letter was sent to him. His parents waited for him to return in order for them to all open the letter. The contents of this letter shocked them. The letter came from Billy's biological father, who at this point wanted to meet him. Anna was afraid that this could lead to their losing their beloved son. Why did he want to meet him now that he was already an adult? They were at this point so confused, they did not know what to do. When the couple was adopting Billy, they were not told about his father. In fact, not once did his name appear on the paperwork. The couple had back then been so excited about adopting the boy that it never even crossed their minds to ask about Billy's father. Legally, the two were Billy's parents, but they still panicked. At this point, they really wished they had asked more questions back then, at least to save themselves this kind of unwanted surprise. The two had questioned the situation so much, but finally understood why no one was willing to adopt the boy. It was because his father was a criminal, a mob boss whose name was Paddy O'Reilly. And during those years, he had been in prison. They truly wouldn't have guessed. After they had read the letter, they realized they didn't have much time to think over everything. There was information in the letter that was time-sensitive. At this time, Paddy was out of prison. He had been released. Billy's decision was very shocking, truly unexpected. Billy actually wanted to meet his real father, even though Patrick and Anna were very skeptical about it. They'd allowed it regardless. After they met Paddy, they realized he was only interested in meeting his son and nothing more. He had no intentions of introducing him into the mob business. After they'd met, Paddy became a part of Billy's life, and the four would often hang out together. The adoption process had never been easy, and it still isn't. Several people do not have an idea of just how time-consuming it is. So many others are even discouraged from starting the process because of the difficulty involved. That said though, in the end, it's totally worth it.